Okay, let's bring it back down. Okay, the Stan James Champion Hurdle, of course, is the big race on the first day of Cheltenham 2016. Let's just do our own little straw poll. Lots of polls going along at the moment. The first shout will be for should Ricci run Annie Power in the Champion Hurdle. The second shout I'd ask for is should she go for the Mayor's Hurdle. So, should Ricci run Annie Power in the Champion Hurdle? Fuck me, you're in trouble, Ricci. Should Ricci run Annie Power in the race that's just pointless, the Mayor's Hurdle?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, there's the dilemma, isn't it?
Up to now, I had total respect for this audience, but Jesus. Rich, before we speak about Annie, quiet please. Quiet please. Without giving the sort of basic stock answer, we'll have to wait and see, which of course you could do, but you're not going to because we've heard you in business over the years and you're a man who speaks out and says your mind. Already people have suggested to me this is a horse who's won over 3 miles of her hurdles. Would your only aim be the Champion Hurdle next season, or would you consider him for the Gold Cup, which is technically what he possibly could have done all along?
Who, Faheen?
Yes.
No. He's got a chance to be the highest ranked hurdler of all time. I think we'll stick with hurdles. He's won 11 out of 12, and he's only raced 12 times. People forget. No, we'll stick with hurdles. We're not going to chase. No. Where'd you get that question from?
So would you say you've never debated whether Fotor or Faheen should have gone chasing one or t'other or one?
Yes, we did that 2 years ago.
That's where I got the question from.
We did that 2 years ago. And we decided we would take Fotor chasing because of Faheen's untidy hurdling, as well as some issues with his back at the time. We decided to stay hurdling. We've never changed off that course. No.
Okay. Now then, on a personal level, as we've heard, we had a split audience, although I suspect if I asked them to
Didn't
share for
sound
anything,
split to me.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it was split. On a personal level, Willie Mullins has effectively said Annie Power is going to be supplemented for the Champion Hurdle, but we haven't heard an awful lot from the owner on this score. Is it a done deal?
No, and Susanna and I have talked a lot about it. So Susanna and I have talked a lot about it, and it's a struggle, and I like to be very forthright and clear in how I talk about things. This one I'm muddled because, and I'm clumsy about it, and I admit I am, but it's because we're emotional about it and we're confused about it. So on ratings, the mare has every right to run in that race. And if it was tomorrow, I'd say we'd supplement her. I think there's two things that factor into our thoughts. Number one is the health of Vroom Vroom Mag. And she's fine, by the way. There's no problem with her. But as long as she gets to the race well and good, she must have a good chance to win the Mayor's Hurdle. What we talk about, Susanna and I and others, is how would we feel if we ran Annie Power in the Champion Hurdle, she loses, and for whatever reason, Vroom Vroom Mag loses the Mayor's Hurdle, and with Annie Power, who we really would love to see win a race at Cheltenham. Nobody deserves to win a race at Cheltenham, but we'd love to see her win at Cheltenham. How would we feel if we left that behind? That's what we struggle with. That being said, she must have a great chance in the Champion Hurdle. And it's just a struggle. And listen, it's not my style to be evasive. I'm very direct speaking, but this is a struggle. If it was tomorrow, we'd supplement her and we'd see how we get to the day. But I think it'll be one of those calls. We've got till next Wednesday, and we'll take all that time to do it. That being said, I was down in Close Sutton last Wednesday. She is absolutely gleaming in her coat. I haven't seen her look that well in a very long time, and she is working very well indeed.
And final question on Annie Power, Rich. And Susanna is here tonight as well. 2 years ago, we all know Annie Power should have run in the Champion Hurdle. Willie Mullins bullied you into running her in the World Hurdle. And like a lapdog, you just did exactly... I rest my case.
He's bang on, by the way.
Like a lapdog, you did what Willie said because Willie didn't want Hurricane Fly to get beaten, which he did. And Annie won in the world hurdle. So she's run 15 times, she's won 13, both times she's been beaten at Cheltenham for different reasons. Will this be your decision or Willie Mullins?
I think that it'll be collective. But I think this, look, the trainer sees the horse every day. You employ someone, just like in any business, with the exception of ATR, I know people normally employ the best people they can, let them get on with it. Some have to be micromanaged from on high. We employ...
Rich is right, some of them are crap.
We employ... we employ quality people, and we try to let them get on with their job. Willie Mullins is the greatest trainer in the world, with all due respect to the English trainers at the moment, and he is the best trainer in the world. He sees the horse every day. Of course he has an influence, but this one is a particularly challenging one, and for some of the reasons why you said. She probably should have run in the champion hurdle. Although Ruby would say, she was too keen on the day, that sort of thing. I always viewed it, and I've said it very publicly, that not running in certain races, Faheen taking on Hurricane Fly last year, was a tax for being in the yard. And we were happy to pay that tax, given the success we've had. Listen, Susanna is the first one to be upset about Annie Power not running that champion hurdle. I've heard it from everybody. That being said, we were second in the world hurdle, beaten by a very good horse. All of that ties into this race, and that's why I'm so muddled, and it's very challenging.
Joe, you work very closely with Rich. Tell us as it is your gut feeling, huge as it is, that Annie Power will be in the champion hurdle field?
He's just told you she'll be supplemented as long as room.
No, but I'm asking, I don't care what Rich has just said.
Oh, supplement her.
You have an opinion.
Supplement her.
So she'll run in the champion hurdle.
If you think she was good enough to win the champion hurdle 2 years ago, she should be good enough to win this champion hurdle this year. Nothing has changed in the meantime, apart from the owner's emotions. The horse is probably stronger and better. Simple as that, and she's got a higher rating, by the way.
Are the owner's emotions causing you an issue?
No, same rating.
162 now, it was 165.
No,
Right, fair enough. I sit corrected. No, are they causing me? No, because I do believe she'll be supplemented, and I also believe the fact, what does she know, 7 to 4, 13 to 8?
Yeah, she's very short.
Yeah, so Rich is getting 11 to 1 by paying his 20 grand, so the banker wins again.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Paul, speak some sense now. I mean, Rich really wants Annie Power to win. Doesn't almost matter what. If she runs in the champion hurdle, in your form guru book, will she win? Getting £7.
Yeah, £7 is massive. I think she's good. I think she's definitely good enough to win. I think she's the most likely winner. Different questions: would I back her at 13 or 8, 7 to 4? The answer is no. But by the same token, it'd be a crying shame if she doesn't run in it, because it is a terrible race this year without her. We've lost the first and the second favourites. You've got to remember, 2 weeks ago it was 3s on Faheen, 8 to 1 Arctic Fire, 10s Bar. We've lost the front two. We need a superstar. She's a superstar. None of the others are. She's a superstar because she can take on and compete with the male horses, and not many mares are able to do so. That's why we have a mares championship. And I've never had a problem with running the best mare in the mares championship, because that's what it's there for. But in this instance, I think the race is there to be won. I think she should go for it. I wouldn't have a massive bet on anything in a race, to be honest, because I think you can pick holes in everything. I think she's the most likeliest winner, and I think it's the race she should run in.
So, Paul, if she was your only horse that you owned, would you supplement her?
That's the question. That's not for me to answer, is it?
Well, he's asking you to answer it, man.
If she was the only horse you owned, would you supplement her?
I'd want to win a champion hurdle. But I may or may not be, well, I know that I'm not as emotional as someone like Rich, who's so emotionally involved in it, and I'm not necessarily like that. So it's how you feel about it, isn't it, yourself?
Rich, Susanna's here tonight, and I'm sure she would rather I didn't go over to her with a microphone.
She won't want that, no.
No, she won't like that, and she's, compared to you, she's fierce. So,
Yes.
so I know I've met my match there. But is it fair, is the emotion with this horse perhaps more on her side, which is completely understandable, than you, or is this an equi thing?
Why would it be more understandable on her side?
Well, she may be more in love with Annie Power than you are.
Oh, right. No, I think it's equal. I think we'd like the mare to win. That's the bottom line.
Okay. Now, when Fahim was still in this race, it's fair to say, I think, that Sam Twiston, if he could have persuaded Nigel to run it in the World Hurdle, the new one, that would have been the case. Indeed, I know that the case because I have a little text from Sam here that says, there's no reasoning with the man. He lives on the moon sometimes. So it's in yellow and blue. Well, at least I think it's from Sam. It might have been from someone else. Sam, the new one, I mean, could this be his year? Because I think the one thing's for sure is there'd be plenty who'd be cheering you home if you actually got him home.
Well, we felt he was very unlucky 2 years ago. Everything went wrong for him, and he still managed to run a hell of a race. Last year, he spent most of the time in the swimming pool leading up to the big race, which you'll always know, if you're swimming, you're only maintaining your fitness. If you're out galloping, you're improving, you're getting bigger and stronger. And this year, when he turns up, this will be as good a possible form we can possibly get him. So if he finishes third or fourth, then that's as good as he is. But this will be as good a form as he's turned up to Cheltenham in a very long time. So fingers crossed, everything goes well. He turns up there now safe and sound, and he has a real good crack at it.
One. Hold on. Hold on. I love a crowd who loves a strawberry. Right. So, and Sam, just with this horse, do you think he has the tactical pace on goodish ground? And how important is goodish ground on the basis he's been running on heavy?
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll be out the gate. He'll be given a kick in the belly down to the first. And if someone wants to go fast, then sure, they can go fast. But from our point of view, you jump 3 out, you let him roll down to 2 out, you get round the bend and you hit him as many times as you can in the last furlong. I'd take a week. There's no one for the BHA here, is there?
And finally, Sam, you have ditched Nichols and Old Guard. You've effectively presented Schofield with the chance of taking your job. How do you rate that Old Guard Sempre Medici form? Of course, Ricci also had Sempre Medici in the race, who wouldn't be without an each-way chance. Sam, how would you rate that form?
The way I looked at it is that the new one has been there and done it before. He's solid. He is a very, very good horse on his day. Old Guard is potentially a very good horse, but he's yet to go to a race like the Champion Hurdle and prove it. He ran in the Christmas Hurdle at Christmas, and, well... Oh, fuck's sake. Look, I didn't go to a posh school, all right? I went to a free one. Look, what was the best bit about the Old Guard is that I got to have a go on him in the Christmas Hurdle, and he got put in his place by Fahim. But Fahim is an exceptional horse. What he did that day really, really impressed me. He jumped, he went a gallop, he took half the race out their comfort zone, and Cherubi kicked him in the belly in the bottom of the bend and just went faster. For me, the Old Guard was flat out all the way on ground that actually wasn't that decent. So I didn't come to Cheltenham. He's going to be in top gear for a lot of the way, and he could actually have a great chance come the Aintree Hurdle.
Right, let's just go down the panel. Paul, the winner of the Champion Hurdle is...
Probably Annie Power. Probably Annie Power. I think Old Guard's a bit of each way value because the rest of the form is absolute rubbish.
It is. It's a terrible, terrible race.
Identity Thief's best piece of form, his 9 to 2 second favourite, is a neck win from Top Notch. Nichols Canyon got thrashed last time, ran badly at Cheltenham last year. My 10 to yours hasn't run for 2 years and pulls the jockey's arms out. The new one's best form is 2 years old. Peace and Co's 200 to 1, not 20 to 1 on what he's done this year. You can pick holes in every single horse. I think Sempre Medici might run a big race as well. I've no idea what will win it if it's not Annie Power. I don't want to have a bet on anything that is a short price. So for me, I'll have a little bit each way on Old Guard.
Okay, Chambers.
I sincerely hope Rich and Susanna supplement Any Power. I think Ruby will go off and be gone, and that'll be the end of it. And good luck, and that's it.
Twiston, each way, the new one.
Each way? What?
Sorry.
Not been listening. No, I'm happy on the new one. Don't call him that. He's still got it.
Yeah, Chambers, leave him alone. We know how this kind of thing starts. Right, and Rich, once you've supplemented Annie Power, presumably she will just pop out in front and make all the running as Fahim would a few weeks ago.
If she runs, we have to think she win.
Okay. If she runs, she has to win. And we all know she will run. Right.